want you to win. I want you to achieve. I want you to become great. I want you to make your dream reality. But I can't just want it for you. You're competing against millions. You must do what they won't. See the vision they don't yet see. Dream bigger than they ever have. You must chip away at your dream. I want you to win. I want you to achieve. I want you to become great. I want you to make your dream reality. But I can't just want it for you. You're competing against millions. You must do what they won't. See the vision they don't yet see. Dream bigger than they ever have. You must chip away at your dream. I want you to win. I want you to achieve. I want you to become great. I want you to make your dream reality. But I can't just want it for you. You're competing against millions. You must do what they won't. See the vision they don't yet see. Dream bigger than they ever have. You must chip away at your dream.
Every single person out here has a dream, but the reality is that they lose sight of it. We get busy, we get caught up in work, and our dream passes us by. I'm here to make sure that doesn't happen, inspiring people to take the small steps and realize that dream that's way up here is actually possible when you chunk it down and you move closer to it. So I come out here and I hold up my sign every day. Hey guys, my name is Zach. I'm out here talking about dreams. I started doing signs that were motivational and inspirational. And then after weeks of doing that and 40, 50 signs, my friends online said, dude, I know you're missing these great conversations. We need to see what you're talking about with the people, not just a picture of your sign. So I got this GoPro right here. And now it's evolved to where I've become more clear about my life's mission, which is everything about dreams. The very first day I come out here, I'll be so honest with you, I was terrified. I was scared of what people think. I'd already spoken on stage. I was scared. I was like, what if people shut me down? What if people, hate on me? What if people cuss me out? The what if is what holds everybody back. What if they don't?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another installment of Dreamers. I should say I did both Dream Talk and Dreamers University. This is Dreamers University, and we are live. Have a little bit of technical difficulties. This stream was not really been able to be sent out to anyone because X, I started the live and X has these new features where it's like, you got to set up this setting. So you'll just have to find this organically, see it on the feed. And when you get here, I appreciate you guys showing some love and pop in the chat, because this is actually a great topic today. We're talking about the magnetism of positivity. Positive attitude is something that I love, know through and through. So excited to share that with you guys. Other things here that we got to chit chat on beforehand is, number one, we got a few updates or a few giveaways, 3 giveaways each and every Dream Talk for 3 different listeners. You can win 10,000 Dream live every week. You have the chance to do that. So if you're here in the first 20 minutes, retweet this stream, drop a comment, and tap in. Last week was all about crypto. This week will be about crypto and dreams with the stance of positive attitude, positive energy, how it all connects. That's what we talk about here. We talk about dreams and making them come true, a la Dreamcat, who you may have heard of once before. He's the cat up here in the corner, the most successful cat in the world. Anything and everything you ever wanted to achieve, he's done, right? And if it's your first time listening, our mission is to leverage and use the Web3 space, meme coins, to reach the dreamers of the world, bring them together, and be that person who can inspire, who can uplift. I'm Wasted Boys. What's going on? Welcome, welcome. I don't recognize the ticker, but your profile picture is far away to see. I'm Wasted Boys. Welcome in. So with that, let's do a quick overview here, updates, just talk on the market. The market is definitely down. We had a whole variety of things going on this week, right? Stuff with the government's been shut down for like 40 days. It just reopened, I think, yesterday. What are the other things we have going on? Bitcoin's going down. There was a big thing with PopCat yesterday. Gosh, it seems like an XRP ETF was even announced yesterday. Positive news. So positive news is happening, and simultaneously negative things maybe at the same time. And it's, trading off. Okay. So you got some positivity and some negativity, but the market is down. The market is down, and this is the time to capitalize. This is a great time to speak of positivity. Oh, Brandon, what's up, man? Yes, I know. I've moved to Florida. I don't know if we ever got to chat about that, but what's up, Brandon? Okay, let's see who's here on the chat. We're streaming from X. We're streaming on X, YouTube, and Facebook, and I got a one-on-one live stream here on Instagram, so welcome, welcome. We got Raylan here in the building, was watching replay of Cats Collective. Yeah, that was a good one earlier. We brought those back. If you guys don't know, we used to do a space every week, every two, about the cat space in the crypto economy, right? And we did one of those today. It was good. Met Loaf Cat, met another cat NFT project. So that was cool. That was good. And yeah, shout out to you, Raylan. Good to see you in the building. If you can, please share this out, because I had trouble with my X DMs and I couldn't send this out like I normally do. I think I got it in the Dreamers group, but a little bit of struggle here. Anyway, with that, let's get on with it. Let's get on right into it, okay? So today, again, we're talking about the magnetism of positivity. This is twofold. There's positive attitude. There's positive energy, both applicable. And this is like a Swiss Army knife topic, by the way, because positivity, it could kind of fit into optimism and pessimism and belief, and like it fits into all the different buckets. But bear with me. It's something that every dreamer should have in their arsenal. They should learn to live in this state, right? Kind of like glass half full versus glass half empty. So hear me out here, okay? The magnetism of positivity. And I took some notes on this first part because I want to get this out to you. Everything is contagious, okay? Everything is contagious. Thoughts of all kinds. Ideas are contagious. Movements are contagious. Trends are contagious. Fear is contagious. People wearing a mask during COVID, it was a contagious like trickle down effect. Oh, they're wearing some, so like I should probably wear mine. And oh, you're not wearing yours, but we all are. Contagious, contagious, contagious. Guess what else is contagious? Market sentiment, people selling, bullishness and bearishness, all contagious. Everything is contagious. So is positivity. So you have choices now. You could join the herd, right? Follow along with whatever the contagious thing is. Oh, a lot of wow. Okay, am I still here? Raylan, can you comment if you can see me? That has never happened before. The stream just crashed in real time, but it looks like it's still open. 11 minutes. Okay, Libre's here. Good. Wow. Let me check. Okay. VPN is on. Yeah, I don't know. That's never happened before. First time crash. Anyway, it's a live stream. That is the risk of going live stream. So let me get back into the swing of things. Okay, magnetism of positivity. Everything is contagious. Okay, I cover this. COVID, fear, the markets, all contagious. Okay, now your choice is join the herd, follow the contagion, do what other people are doing because you don't know any better, because you don't have your own standing. Or When it comes to the positivity, you could become the source, follow the herd, or become the source. The reason I provide what I do here in the Dream Talk podcast, the reason I do this in alignment with Dreamcat, the project that we're building, the cat, the reason why this is done is not just for like, oh, let's get some clips and let's do this. It's because we can affect the collective mind share of the dream ecosystem with this content. And this content serves two purposes. Is one, to build an invincible belief for the future. If you listen here, if you understand the magnitude, if you understand that all we're talking about is laws and principles, we're applying them to dream. These laws and principles are undefeated. Yes? Okay. So one, to become invincible in the future. Two, the magnetism energy projected onto the present is what we're doing as well. So everything that we're sharing, okay, let me break it down further. I just got to keep going. Let me just read what I wrote. Okay, so to take that further, to make it make sense, memes, okay? Memes are a narrative. Memes are momentum. Memes are charts, price action, but really all memes is belief and energy. And our energy, like Iggy's energy, who's here, Brandon's energy over there, Raylan's energy, your energy comes from the environment, the inputs, and what goes in your ears. So what you're hearing here controls your energy, but memes are just belief and energy. The positivity on the outlook ties into the belief directly and the energy, both. So this is huge, not just for dream and the whole outlook of how meme coins work, but also for your own dream, essential. So now to bring it all together, because I got a little sloppy with all these distractions. What we have the power to do here today is control our outlook, our outcome, our destiny by projecting our thesis, our positive outlook, our positive final destination. In Dream, you're in a one of a dozen decade-long memes, okay, with the lowest entry point and highest upside. That's energy that can be funneled out positively. Now, it was a lot better when I wrote it out. And when I said it, it sounds choppy, but ultimately I wanted to try to show you how positivity is at the forefront of everything. It's just kind of disguised as energy or belief. Energy and positivity kind of go together hand in hand. So like, what are we doing? A lot of people just react, right? I think I just got to go through it. I can't just dive in. I just got to go through it off the dome. Reading notes just doesn't work for me. The bottom line is you just got to know the topic and speak from the heart, because when you read all over, it gets too sloppy. The even crazier part is I actually prepared for this, right? I'm like, let me make sure I do some good stuff. Let me take notes. I took 2 pages of notes, and the ones that come off the dome are better. So let's just reset. I got 2 books here I want to show you real quick. The first one is The Little Gold Book of Yes Attitude. See, The Little Gold Book of Yes Attitude. This is a signed copy from Jeffrey Gitomer. This is who I actually used to work for. Okay, I used to work for this author here, Jeffrey Gitomer. And ironically enough, not to like flex, but to know on my shaky start now, so you know how I can talk on this topic. I won a contest. I've mentioned this before, right? I was on the receiving end of a contest for the best yes attitude / positive attitude, right? And that's how I got my job opportunity. I literally won that contest because I was a product of that book, which was like the 3rd or the 4th book that I had read, The Little Gold Book of Positive Attitude. Another positive book I have here is The Power of Positive Thinking, another classic that will probably be covered in the book club. It's got a stance kind of on faith, but it just goes through all the numerous ways on how a positive outlook, a positive attitude affects essentially everything. So I say all that to say, positive attitude changed my life. I'm positive now because of the programming that I gave myself, the outlook, the understanding. And guess what? It opens doors. It makes things happen. It makes dreams come true. And that's why I want to relate it to you today, because if you're, say, the glass half empty person. You got to realize that a lot of your life that you think is hardship or doors slamming shut is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You kind of have done it to yourself with your energy and your outlook, because positivity is a magnet. A positive attitude is a magnet. Positive energy is a magnet. And I say this all the time, right? We don't need to be chasing everyone down all the time. When you're in the dream, sometimes it feels like you need to, I guess you can. I guess it goes on both sides of the fence. But what we want to focus on more, at least in the dream community, is becoming the magnet. So we can attract what we want by putting out what we want, right? That's pretty simple, and I feel like it makes sense. It's called the law of reciprocity. So, people say, hey, you support me, I support you. That's an example of the law of reciprocity. Or, GM for GM, like you GM me, I GM you. That would be an example of it. Now, you could do that, and, Libre, who's here, does it pretty well. He GMs, gets lots of GMs back, and that's one way to play. But in my opinion, my eyes, the best scalable way is become the source, become the magnet, right? If we get to a point where the energy we put out for a dream, it's got to grow, it's got to develop, it's still a shell in my eyes. But as we reach more positive people and they get the understanding of the dream and it comes together and it stacks and stacks, we don't need to like knock and bang down a bunch of doors. We simply exist, move out in the open, and people pick up on that and they're naturally drawn to that. And I know this, and you probably know this too. There's certain people who you're drawn to. Even think about relationship status, right? You ever hear about, I'm just thinking of girls in my mind who say, oh my gosh, every guy out there is a douchebag, right? Because they're attracted to the same type of guy over and over. Like the good guy could come and give him the flowers, but no, I don't like the guy who does that. I want the guy who doesn't call me back or cheats on me, right? I know that sounds crazy, but that's the scenario that I'm thinking of, a real life example of how it works. So they keep finding the same guy over and over and over again. It's kind of because their energy, their frequency. So we have that. This isn't about energy, it's about positivity, but we have that same ability. You have that same ability. And it kind of ties into, guess what? The law of attraction. So positivity is a big one because it ties into attitude, energy, positivity. It all kind of ties into all the other buckets. Belief, optimism, it ties into all of them. So we'll follow this along here and just go through a little bit of thought process here, just to play it out in real time. So I want you to think about the two options that you have, okay? Positive and negative. We're just going to do simple thought trajectory, because this is what I found for me is like everything, is a magnet. Like I said, so let's just think. We'll apply this to the, should we apply it to the market? I do see it on, yeah, okay, let's start with the market. So there's two thought processes right now, okay? Let's use the positive thought process. The positive thought process, I'm going to use myself because I am positive. The market is down. My bags are also down. Some of my meme coins have gone down. My net worth is down. I'm in a negative situation too, right? My bags weren't magically immune, so I can relate to all the other people. But what I see from others is a different take. Maybe it's more focused on F this person, we're so cooked, it's so over. Why live in that frequency? There's people who are putting threats on people. I was talking about that today in the collective. Why live in that frequency? How can that thought trajectory of negativity serve you in any way at all? It can't. If I am saying, wow, this market is so over, nothing's ever going to pump, Trump sucks, blah, blah, blah. What's going to happen? Well, those thoughts aren't going to magically make it go good or bad. But because I'm in this thought process of it's all bad in this thinking pattern, I'm now looking for my reality to match what I expect. my expectations, right? Oh yeah, man, it's bad. No, there can't be any opportunities. There can't be any, too good. That's too good to be true. The market's over, dude. You're delusional. Like there's nothing. You're dumb. Like just log off, go touch some grass and whatever. Okay. So that's maybe playing the negative. Now I think on the positive side, okay. I see the optimistic side of things. I'm looking at the long term. I'm using this time to gain more information, to do some more research, to shake hands and meet more people who are here. Using this time to continuously build, to get an edge, to get mentally strong. Using this time to study deeper the narrative, right? We did that space last week, a whole deep dive on the narrative. And guess what? If you logged off and you said it was so totally over, you wouldn't have seen any of that stuff. And the difference is being here now, it does a couple things. Is one, because you still see the upside. Well, hey, the market's down, but we still believe because of regulation, because of crypto president, we probably got to see the biggest bull ever. Even when people think negative, it's got to come eventually. So if you're not paying attention and you're totally logged off, you may miss the shift. You may miss the big announcement. You may be missing this right now where we talk about the dream and, how we can separate ourselves from everyone else. You may be missing that. And so the way I think of it is negativity, it can never really serve you in any, I don't see in any way how it could serve you. You could say now, if you want to play devil's advocate, you could take a pessimistic side of things. You could say, look, yeah, I knew this market was over 6 months ago, so I sold everything and it didn't go, I didn't have to watch my bags go down, right? Full choice, by the way. For those of you out there, do the same thing. I'm not saying follow me. Personally, I'm just like an investor, right? I believe in my thesis. I invest and I let that ride pending the situations. So, and if you want to take the pessimistic way, you could say, okay, fine. Yeah, maybe I could sell earlier and whatever. And, I saved some money, but the optimist, the believer, the positive glass half full person, it doesn't mean good things happen for them all the time. It means while bad things happen, they focus on the good that can be. And because they do this when they are right, and they either like delusionally find their way to that positive outcome because they believe in it, because they're positively expecting it, or they're attracting it. Okay. Either that happens or they overcome so many wrongs and hardships and man, I'm going to get hired this time. This is the interview. No, it's not. You're not going to get hired. I go in and I'm wrong. This is the interview for sure. I'm going to get hired this time. I know it's my moment. I've been praying about it, whatever. Boom, you go and you're rejected. But because you still have the positive outlook, because you still have the positive anticipation, you're crazy enough to go to the 37th interview. The 37th interview gets you hired, and one thing leads to the next. And if you follow any big shot success entrepreneur, I heard someone, who were we listening to? Someone, I think it was actually the Mooncat. I was watching a space with Mooncat and David Gottstein, and he was actually talking about Walt Disney, who I know very well. I've talked about, and he says, yeah, Walt Disney was rejected, I don't know, maybe like 20 times for the funding of his theme park, or maybe way more. Many greats were rejected over and over. What keeps them in the game? The delusional, the optimistic, the belief, but it's all based in, yeah, but the next one will be the one. Yeah, but the next one will be the one. The next one will be the one. That's the positive attitude. The next one will be the one. The next month will be the month. Moonvember, Pumpsember, whatever comes after that. Next year will be the year. Next coin will be the coin. Next pump will be the pump. You're like, yeah, but that could be crazy. But that's the thing, is bottom line is good things come to those who move in the positive alignment. Now, that's in the positive attitude, but let's talk about the positive energy, because I personally have been attracted. Hello, Tiasano 12, welcome. I personally have been attracted to the right energy. Someone who has that. Prince, I don't know if Prince is here. Prince has that energy, and he has it. I know he's gone through some ups and downs, but he really had it in the beginning, like it was on fire. And another person who has that energy is Stones, a guy named Stones. I really like Stones, and it's the outlook. where, okay, yeah, a lot of bad things can be going on in your life, but you focus on the good, right? Man, yeah, it's true. I did break my leg and I did get rugged, but at least I can still breathe. And, it's a beautiful sunny day in the air. There's fresh air outside. You might be thinking, yeah, that doesn't matter. But people gravitate towards that. I gravitate towards that stuff. If you're projecting positivity, I'm seeing it. Iggy's here. Peanut has been posting a little bit recently, a friend of ours. If you don't know the reference, Peanut is a guy on X who's in the Web3 space, and he's decided that he's going to go on this journey of kind of an evolution of becoming a main character and becoming a content creator and walking in this new motion of like, I'll never give up. I need to become this person. I'm going to step into my dream. He's walking in this motion now. And so Iggy, maybe he can kind of relate to that. He likes that energy. He's in a dream chasing evolution moment too. So he commented on that. Now, I saw this conversation go on. I was actually tagged in this conversation. So I saw Peanut, I saw Iggy, and I commented. And everything I read is like, that's in my frequency, right? I'm in that same positive energy state. Those kind of words, those kind of phrases, those kind of like statements. Yeah, I agree. I live in that. Yes, fully agree. So then I commented, and then Wander commented, and he put like fire, right? Because Wander is also a builder, and he's building something as well. And so now I saw the effect yesterday, even being there in that cluster of 4 people. And I think Iggy even commented later, like it was just good, positive energy. And he's like, man, I got goosebumps right now. I think that's the right context. So now think of that. The markets are still down. That was yesterday. Maybe I'm not who I want to be. Iggy's not who he wants to be. Peanut's not who he wants to be. Wander's not who he wants to be. But we've committed or focused on the positive outcome, and we have the power to speak the words. We have the power to type the words. We have the power to visualize that dream outcome. We have the power to give it focus, give it energy, and say, hey, we're not there yet, but this is where I'm giving my energy to a positive future that I seek to be in. And what that did is it attracted like minds. And when we were in that little cluster, in that little moment, it was energy. I consumed energy. I didn't feel drained. When I came there, I'm like, yeah, right? Like, yes, I'm in this energy frequency. And that is the power, no matter if you're here with Dream, no matter if you're here with someone else. On the crypto side of things, that is the power that you have to create, right? Okay, the market's down, people aren't buying memes, there's not a lot of liquidity, but the switch energy is free. You get to decide how excited you get. You get to decide how deep you believe in. And that's what I was trying to say earlier. We are literally 1 out of 12 decade-long memes with the highest upside possible, with the least amount of downside. And out of all those dozen, only one has a founder who's still present. Everything else is a community takeover or someone else. Wow, that's something to get excited about, to realize the potential. That's what I get excited about. I'm like, yo, I can get down too, but we're here. We're in the arena. We've planted the seed. So you just got to get through. You got to keep going and find your path. But if you're in memes, just remember, so you have this power. The dreamers here, if you are a dream chaser, we have the power to create our energy and momentum. Right now, I saw Raylan made a great post, Mr. Scenes retweeting stuff every day. But you can think about, we talked about the positive and negative. How many dreamers have logged off until times get better? Like, dude, I just, we lost the Jet. We lost Kyle. Mark's still there with us. We don't see him in the chat. And this is the evolution. That's okay. That's cool. We appreciate them as, being holders. And if they ever come back, if they want to come back, they're welcome to come back. But if you think about it, if you believe in the dream, and if you're like, hey, I'm here anyway, the 2, 3, whoever it is, the people who believe, if everyone was moving in what I'm pitching right now, right? It's the positive energy, the positive expectancy, showing up. Like, it's all these rules and laws that stack on each other. But if we as a unit could get behind these and use these, we would actually be creating momentum right now. We could do that today. We could jump the gun. We could get ahead of the field. Like, because if that little conversation with Peanut, you got to find the right people, obviously. But if there was 5, 6, 7 dreamers who could be in that little ecosystem on X, it wouldn't matter who else is like it. You don't need, oh, we need to chase down this person, this person. We are existing. The people who follow us, the people who see from someone's like or retweet or comment, they pick up on this energy and be like, wow, that is winning energy. That is good energy. That is something that I want to attach myself to. That is something I want to be a part of. That's the difference, right? You can be and attract said energy. All right, Mr. Scene in the building. Only you know your path. Only you. And you know what's crazy about that, Mr. Scene, is that even when you say it, sometimes you still don't know, right? Like, you know, you have the internal feeling of where you're supposed to be or where you're going, but I know where I'm going. And at the same time, I don't know the answers half the time. I made a story about that today. I was like, winning doesn't really feel like winning, right? From the outside, someone might say, oh, you moved to a new state. Oh, that was really cool. I saw you went to Disney last week, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, cool. And we got this podcast going and we got the dream and we built this and we built this and we built the course and the book club and this and hit this highs. And it's like, yeah, but there's the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And so just know that I often say that the winning, even if you feel like you're winning or you're growing or evolving, sometimes it feels like nothing's happening at all. And that's when it's important to zoom out and say, man, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Well, what do I want? Where am I trying to go, right? If you're a dreamer here, we've made it pretty simple for you. I think, some people quit over time because they say, hey, I don't really want to, why am I here? Like, what's my motive, right? You got to have the right motive. What's my motive to show up and tweet stuff every day if I'm not getting paid, or like the market's like, why do I do it? Well, I have that bigger why, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm here because I have a dream and I want to reach more dreamers and I want to, inspire and connect and dream together and build this kind of brand and empire. Now for you could say the same thing. Well, why am I here? Is it really worth it to click these buttons to raid this post? Because I'm not going to lie. I mean, when things are, each day I put out some stuff and then I'm off trying to build something, right? But I can imagine being on the flip side of being in the group is like, what makes me want to comment on this next post? What makes me want to go take my time to post a picture and write all this? Why do I want to do that? Obviously, there's the financial incentive that everyone thinks of, but where is your breaking point of worth it, right? It's something that you got to think of. So on that topic, I think what makes the dream special is, can you attach your dream to the dream? And that is how you can make all of your time worthwhile, because now you're not aimlessly hanging out. Now you're not in the chat hanging out in VC just to get reward points or get dream tokens. You're there because you're creating a self-evolution. The people that we want to find that want to come here are dreamers who want to chase their dream. And what's really special is we say, need a water bad. Bubba gum. We say it's a 2-for-1. If you're a dreamer who has a dream, then you can come here and be in pursuit of your dream while we chase the dream. You can tie it together. You working out, getting in good shape, that's getting in the dreamer flow. You're listening to this right now. It can serve and help your bag. We're talking about positivity, but positivity is threefold: for your life, for your dream, for the meme. So we're not just talking about, oh man, yeah, I saw Bitcoin do this and, Elon and the markets did this. Like, you can take this home with you for the rest of your life if you understand it. Positivity is a framework of my entire life. I did temporarily lose it. I went through the rock bottom and I became a shell of myself and it was gone. Just like anything, you must practice. You must stay in the rhythm. If you go to school, we've all been to school, right? Some of us are still there. Some of us are long gone. Well, guess what? I don't remember barely anything as far as what I actually learned. I remember, I learned about the Indians. I learned about Christopher Columbus. I learned about geography, algebra, calc. I remember, but do I remember the formula? Do I remember how to do that certain things? Do I remember the exact history dates? Not from doing nothing for 15 years. It goes away. So when it comes to positivity, when it comes to all self-help and personal development that we are using in the meme coin and Web3 space to build your character, to build yourself, to be someone who can carry wealth, okay? These things all take reps, just like the gym takes reps. That's why we listen. That's why we do this every single week. Say, hey, man, Bubba Gump's here. Bubba Gump's a winner, man. He's a dreamer. But let me just, maybe his half full, half empty cup, just a little bit of evaporation, took a little bit of water out of the cup. It's a little bit, we got to fill that back up. We got to remind Bubba, man, Bubba's a main character in this game. Doesn't even know he's the main character. We got to remind him, right? So his cup can be filled. So that's important. That is important, okay? I'm taking notes. I'm taking names. Raylan, Iggy. As I said, I wasn't able to share this out with people today, so a little bit tougher. Issues with XDMs right before I started. So it's organic. If you'd like to share it out, please do. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I want to cover on here. Because this is a big topic. I wanted to talk about the different avenues. I know I can crank out stories on this too. What else did I write? Overlap with optimism, pessimism, belief, gratitude. Yeah, that's a good reminder. Okay, so on this topic, I've said this before. Some of these things repeat. Your mind can't tell the difference between a truth and a lie. Okay? Think of that. Your mind can't tell the difference between a truth or a lie. It basically means whatever you repeat to your mind over time, over and over, kind of gets programmed in. That's why we do brainwashing, right? That's belief. That's what belief is. Brainwashing over and over. You add emotion, you add excitement, and it just becomes your truth. Oh yeah, Dreamcat really is one of the top 12 decade meme coins of all time. Man, Dream really is a multi-cycle coin. And that truth makes the reality, the belief. Okay, that's kind of meme coins. But now, on that topic, if your mind can't tell the difference between a truth and a lie, then think about the difference between positive and negative thoughts. Okay? If you're not on the positive attitude, positive energy train, you're probably on the negative attitude or negative train. Slippery slope. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't even like saying these things. Actually, I don't even want to really say them. Because I know speaking creates, writing creates. Abracadabra means as I speak, I create. Did you know that? Like when they're doing the magic, abracadabra. As I speak, I create. Because words have power. You're creating, you're manifesting with words. So if your mind can't tell the difference, then you should full port positivity. Because it may not work 17 times, but you're so tuned up, expecting every outcome to go your way, that the 18th does go your way. Not because of chances. The 18th actually, in your mind, you're so delusional that you think, I'm the best applicant in the world. Everyone's going to hire me. But the truth is, the 18th opportunity only became yours because you just had that edge to you that was so upbeat and positive. They're like, man, I'm just going to hire this guy. And let me tell you something else. A lot of people make the excuses. If you're hearing memes, it's probably to make money, right? People are here to make money. You want to change your life. You want to chase your dream. Well, guess what? Many of the excuses people make are examples of the negative energy, right? They don't even know it. Oh, you don't understand. Nah, it's too hard for me, boss. It's too hard for me. I don't have, I only have $10. You don't understand. And that's where you get $10. Okay, split it into 10 buckets. Why aren't you here? If you're showing up every day, every few months, you're bound to catch one big opportunity, right? We watched the Donald Trump meme coin come out. We were here when Astra came out on day one. If you wanted to trade your way and try 10 bags of $1, you could have climbed your way up now. You could still do this now. Oh no, I'm tired because of this and this. Self-fulfilling. So how you move. Realize you have that power, the power to create that winning outcome. And I want to say more on that. I kind of got distracted, but yeah. So most people make the excuses that they make is usually an attitude problem. This is why, because most of the things that make people great are intangibles, and the intangibles are free, right? Let's pretend I'm super broke. You use that as an excuse. You say, I'm super broke. No one wants to hire me. No girls want to date me. No one wants to be my friend. But think of all the things that I can add into my tool belt essentially for free. Okay, this is the positive outlook of things. Becoming an absolute gentleman is free. Class, right? Class is absolutely free. And you can think, you'll notice actually a lot of people who maybe aren't as well off, a lot of times have an attitude problem, ironically, right? That's free. I can say, hey, how you doing, sir? I can give a firm handshake, free. I can open doors. Hey, God bless, Merry Christmas, whatever it is, all free. Also, another interesting thing is you notice in neighborhoods, certain ones that maybe cost more sometimes are cleaner. Certain ones that don't are normally dirtier, a lot of trash. It doesn't cost any money to care or throw things in the garbage. It's like a framework, an attitude, right? Or like, who cares? It doesn't matter. When you're in the job and there's two people trying to get the promotion, there's one person who says, okay, we worked 10 hours today. The boss wants me to stay an extra hour. They don't pay me for that crap. I'm out of here at 5 o'clock on the dot. I'm out. And then there's the other person who says, yeah, I'd be happy to help out as long as you need me, right? And they've technically worked for free, but it wasn't for free. Because as time moves on, who's the person who's going to get that promotion? Well, man, Sally, she just shows up and does the work. That money was already factored in. But the person who lacks the positive attitude, they're never going to see it. Other examples of things that are free, to a degree, a body, right? To be fair, food does matter. If you can't get yourself any food, you may struggle to build some muscle. But people in prison still get jacked with terrible food. Granted, it's not, they still get food, but it's terrible food. So you don't even need to say, oh, I need organics, I need all the proteins. People in prison get absolutely jacked. So your body is a temple. You could choose to shape this for free. Right? Essentially, like, yes, there's a gym. I go to the gym. I take protein. So I don't want to make stuff up. But if it was my all and be all, I could do 1,000 push-ups a day, right? I could do 1,000 air squats a day, every day. And I would get big. Okay, that's free. What else is free? What other because it's really the intangibles, right? Most the intangibles. A library is free. If you have internet, all of you watching have no excuses. Knowledge to you is accessible. You can listen to this and hear what we're saying. You could listen to book club as we're reviewing each chapter of the book, even if you can't afford it. You can probably find the whole book on YouTube. You can, if you're blessed enough to have a local library with books, you can use that library, okay? You can learn. You can become smart. You can become a bookworm, a book nerd. You can become intelligent. You can expand your vocabulary for free. You can get a dictionary for $1 almost anywhere. No one cares about them. They're like, is it a dictionary? A thesaurus? Yeah, dictionary has all the words in it, right? You can pick up on intelligent words and add them to your vocabulary. That is a free intangible to make you be perceived as someone who is successful. Free. Now, I know that's a side tangent, but it just goes to show that I know where I was getting at this. I have been told a lot of people who I was hired, I guess, a few times, but only one main job out of college. But in everything, different opportunities, people have told me to my face that, like, essentially it was the intangibles. Like, oh, this kid has desire, hunger and desire, also free, by the way. You may need to manipulate your own inside of you. You may need to manipulate something that makes you hungry or want to achieve something. You need to dig into that inner kid version of you who struggled and didn't get to do what you wanted, or paint the vision of the dream version of you not working out and get disgusted by it and use that to drive yourself to greatness. Okay, that's free as well. Yeah, it's just the intangible. So desire was one I was told, free. Positive attitude. That's the biggest one. Yeah, you have a positive attitude. Bad things happen. Let's look at the bright side. What else? Hey, yeah, I'm brought down by the gratitude is another thing. Oh man, it's freezing cold outside. I got to scrape the ice off my work. I got a flat tire, but hey, at least I got a job. At least I got the money to fix the flat tire. At least I have heat in my car. Oh my gosh, I have a car. Guess what? Before I got in the car, I wasn't sleeping on the street. I was sleeping in a bed. And guess what I had for breakfast? A really yummy breakfast, right? The gratitude. So I just say on a side note, a lot of the intangibles that actually bring success. It's not always what you think. Oh, I gotta be, this. And another one is even your looks, right? Because people could say, like, I happen to be tall, I know I'm decently handsome, not to be egotistical, but okay, I know that. So you could say, yeah, but I'm super short and ugly or whatever. A bunch of people who have still made it because of that, by the way, indifferent of that, because it's the principles. I don't hate on people if they have the things. I don't discriminate. I want to be around the energy. It's just energy, positive energy, positive attitude. I don't want to be with the downers. They just bring me down. When you bring each other up, that's how you pump up the volume. That's how you pump up the energy. And again, why is this relevant? Because we're in meme coins, we're in crypto, and the currency is energy, right? That's what it is. Oh man, I see a lot of hype over there. Oh man, they show up every day. Oh man, they're actually excited. And so this is something that you have to program into you. You have to fill your cup. It's not just magic. I can't just tell you, hey, Mr. Scene, Bubba, Raylan, Iggy, you got to be positive, man. Stop being negative. You got to be positive. Not saying you guys are negative, but me saying that doesn't do anything for you. In order for you to get in the positive state, you have to find things that can give you positive optimism. So for example, when I'm looking at my bags, I am an avid researcher. When I went through the Cat Collective and I studied 90 cats and I was going through their website and I was reading their PDFs and I was looking at their tweets, I found sources of renewed optimism and confidence through my research. Though that research infused my belief and my positivity in what I held, what I'm buying, and what I'm shilling. So take that for whatever angle it is for you. Let's apply this to your dream. What is your dream? What do you want? Okay. What is it? What is the thing? Think of that and say, okay, let's evaluate the thoughts that we have. Where do I need the boost? I want to be a radio announcer, but no one's noticing my podcast, right? So I want to be a radio announcer. I want to do the Bulls games and say, ladies and gentlemen, but no one's noticing me. Gosh, maybe I should just give up. Maybe I should go watch Les Brown say, and I walked in, Iggy knows the story, right? And I walked into Mr. Johnson's office and I said, Mr. Johnson, are you hiring? And he said, no, sir. And so I walked out and then I came back the next day and I said, hey, Mr. Johnson, I just wanted to know if you're hiring. And he said, no, I'm not hiring. Didn't I tell you? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. He leaves. He comes back again. Hey, Mr. Johnson, it's me, Les. I just wanted to inquire about the job. He said, didn't I tell you to get out of here? And the story goes on. And he comes back again. He's like, hey, Mr. Johnson, he said, go get me a coffee. He said, yes, sir. I'm not him. He's a great storyteller. But again, that's a good example. So if you want to be that announcer, maybe you should listen to that story. Fill your cup with that optimistic boost, with that positive outlook boost to stay in the framework, in the environment, in the collective bundle ecosystem of the thing that you want. We're here as dreamers. It's a safe place to dream. It's a safe place. You don't have to say, oh, maybe the market's this or market's this. We dream until reality. We must do this. We must figure it out. We must find a way. Yes, there's ebbs and flows, ups and downs. Absolutely. Hard times. But guess what? When you have the good times, oh, that's going to really reinforce your belief, right? And I don't have to know what's going to happen in the market. This is just the positivity outlook. I was led to do this. Mr. Scene told me he was told to actually buy Dreamcat through prayer. He was told to buy it. That's pretty crazy, right? So you embrace these things. You use them for your own good, and you keep them at the top of your mind to keep you going. It's easy to lose sight of them. Easy to lose sight. How do you lose sight? Oh, the price is down. People just forget everything. You got to go back and read. You got to go back and read who we've reached, what we've done, what's yet to come, the ecosystem of the future. Remind yourself, hey, they were looking at what I saw a tweet today that said MOG. They're looking at a MOG ETF, which I didn't understand. Somehow memes and MOG was looking at an ETF. And I registered that today. I could be logged off saying, hey, we'll just wait. But I registered that today. And I said, man, if Mogs get on ETF, how long before they just put, a bunch of cats on ETF? And maybe Dream will be light years away from that ETF. But if there's cat ETFs, there's going to be 100,000 more people coming into the space, right? You just got to know that. That's what gives me a positive outlook, positive energy. When I look at the surface today, I can be negative, but that's not my focus because I want it to happen tomorrow, but that's not the deadline that I put. I said, I dream until reality, right? I see something, I invested, I'm an investor, I dream until reality, right? So I think that's the most of it. Ooh, yeah. Choose the least you will view life, then positive over negative. So I've already said this, and I think that's mostly what I got, by the way. I think that's mostly what I got. We'll do a quote of the day. We'll check out the chart, read a few comments if we have any, but I think that's the gist. So I wrote down another thing, and I actually shared this in the Ninja Cat group today or yesterday, and it's something from Tony Robbins. It's twofold. The first thing I heard was, a lot of people get down or they get depressed or whatever, and they say, if you're feeling bad, it's only because you're focusing on yourself. So whenever you're feeling really, really bad, take inventory and recognize that this is unequivocally true. You're feeling bad, you're focusing on you, right? Oh man, I didn't do this. I need to do this. I'm so overwhelmed because of this. If you want to feel better, you have to project outward. This is why people do good deeds. They say, oh, I want to manifest money. I'll give it away. Oh, I feel really terrible today, but guess what? I can text 5 people in my phone and say, hey, it's been a while. I just want to say, I hope you have an amazing day. I just want to wish you just sending you good vibes, positive energy. Here's a motivational quote. Keep going. I see what you're doing. And now you have the ability to go beyond yourself. And that's actually when you feel better. So notice if you're feeling bad, it's because you're only focusing on you. And so now the second part of that is that reality isn't reality. Your reality is simply what you focus on. That is your reality. Because all different things happen to us and we choose which things to give value to. You say, no, you don't understand. This jerk, I was downtown earlier, coming out of the post office, and this jerk slammed the door in my face. And then when I called him out, he flipped me the bird. Yeah, no wonder I'm pissed. Who wouldn't be pissed after that? See, you chose to give that man power over you. You actually can't get angry unless you allow someone else to anger you. It is a choice for how you respond. Yes, you choose how you respond to that action. If someone flicks me off on the road, I realize almost all of that is never about you in the instance. They have something else going on in their life. Most people recognize that, right? If there's an outburst, it's not about you. It's about something else. So reality isn't reality. What you focus on creates your reality. So if you're focused on lack and, how's this going to work out and whatever, you're kind of just flowing towards that direction. But if you shift it and say, I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know how it's going to pan out. I don't know how the market's going to pump, but I choose to just believe in this outcome. This is my destined outcome. This is where we're heading. And you hear enough things and you just choose to live in that energy. Well, you're on a different frequency now. Maybe you're on the same frequency of the people who do have the money and they see you and they're like, dude, you got to be a part of this. And boom, you're now a part of the wavelength and good things find you. So remember that. Your focus creates your reality. And we can focus on the positive, on the upside. This is where the bullishness comes from. I say, man, sometimes I feel down. Sometimes I feel terrible. And sometimes I feel like I'm going to take over the world. You guys can have an effect on that too when people pump me up. But at the same time, it's something that I put in my mind. It makes me feel like that. Something I listened to, I watched, I woke up early. I went to the gym, I moved my body, I saw the trees, and then I heard something powerful. I read an old thing I wrote, and I said, oh my gosh, it is going to come true. I focused on it again. So you got to keep it top of mind, right? So I think that's the gist. I think that's the gist applied to crypto. I want to look at the quote of the day. I want to look at a chart and, just go a little bit further here. I wish it was smoother. It didn't feel smooth. Sometimes they feel like last week, I still got to pull the clips from that. Last week was just a mega alpha banger. Positivity is something so near and dear to me, but it's kind of hard to put into words fully, I guess. You're kind of just living it, right? Hard to put fully into words, but it's given me a lot. A lot of people I've talked to, they have the same birds of a feather, right? They want to be around people like that. So let's look at this quote. I actually didn't find too many outwardly positive quotes that were like bangers. This is a very simple one with a nice girly aesthetic, but it says, the more you feed your mind with positive thoughts, the more you attract great things into your life. And you got to understand that this is just a choice to believe in this or not believe in this. And you have that choice. And most people say, I ain't believing in all that positivity crap. That's a load of crap. I'm not believing in that. A lot of people do that stuff with religion too. I ain't believing in all that mumbo jumbo stuff. But it's actually that choice changes how you live, how you move. The more you feed your mind with positive thoughts, the more you attract great things in your life. Because why? Because you're a magnet. That's what I told you. You're literally a magnet. So project and attract the right things, okay? I'm going to pull up the chart, and I'll just say on a side note while I pull up that chart, this is something that's a difference that I'm making myself, okay? So, if you're going to see me, I'll just share this right now. So let's get this up on the screen while I share. So this is just a side note about kind of the direction of Dream. Still things I got to get done. I want to be on X more, but I'm a little bit more absent maybe. And it's because I'm going to shift my direction. I can be in the Telegram and I can puppy guard and I can show up to all the spaces and talk with all the people. But is that going to move the dream necessarily? It's an important piece, building new relationships, and it may keep people interested in whatever, but it's like spinning your wheels. In order to change the world, you got to become a pretty big magnet, right? Or maybe you don't, but at least I know if I'm leading the ship, I have to. And so a focus that I'm telling you right now about this whole magnetism thing is this is something that I'm going to live in. So I'm saying, okay, I am going to project, create, become, transform, level up, step into, develop into the man that carries the $1 billion dream. And that will simply be a self-fulfilling prophecy. It won't be, I hope this, I wish this. It's just becoming. It's becoming. And the becoming makes the magic. You already are. You live as if you are. You act the part. You walk the walk. And this is something that brick by brick, I've been working on, saying, this is where we got to go. This is where we got to get to. Inferiors are beating me in this thing, right? You really got to lock in and get it. So I just want to share that with you. That is some of the direction that I'm taking personally. And some like Iggy's doing a great job of it too. He's created all this content, puts himself out there. That makes him a magnet now for the right people. I'm attracted to his posts. You guys got to check out Iggy's Freedom post. I see these things. I'm like, man, yes, I love this. I'm attracted to this. Okay, quick look at the charts. Hey, we're worse off than a couple of weeks ago. So a couple of weeks ago, we were flying high. We were up to 81K, just kind of popping along. Today, we're at 53K market cap. It's good to monitor. If you look at the charts and all that, even from, 61K to 53K, it's not like people are selling on us left and right. There hasn't been anything more than small $25 sells, but it's actually because our whole entire liquidity pool is tied to Solana. And so Solana has some, I think it's down to like 150. It's been up at 220. So that affects our price. So it's good to know. We did have someone dump last week. Peter dumped $1,000-something bag. But other than that, I think the dreamers that we have are the people that we're dreaming with, and hopefully they see the path. And even if they don't, it doesn't really change much, honestly. It doesn't. The dream is universal, interchangeable. Like, I'm excited to see who's going to be here with us in the future. Maybe, Iggy's believer number one, he gets the most credit, but you never know, like the biggest believers of all time could be around the corner. I could meet the biggest believer of all time at Disney World tomorrow and a ride by chance and say, oh man, I'm building this. You're doing this. Let's get together. Let's see what you got going on. We collab and boom, it's a whole new world. So you got to always stay close to your faiths and your convictions and continue to build and never quit, of course, because when you quit, that's actually how most people lose. Most people don't lose from losing. They lose from quitting. Little factoid for you. Okay. 1 million dream is locked away. Oh, we got Bubba here in the comment. Oh, we got a few comments. Okay, let's read the comments because I'm all out of pitch, whatever I want to say about positivity. We got Mr. Scene, you attract who you are. This is absolutely true. You also, Big Zebo, what's up, man? You also, on the contrary, inverse, right? You negate away people. So when I say, I do got stuff to say, Bubba reminds me. So I'm just gonna share straight up. Bubba asked me if I was going to the Miami crypto conference because there's a conference in Florida, like right around here this past week, and there's one later in December. And I didn't snap, but I kind of gave him a negative answer, right? He's like, oh, are you going to this conference? And I'm like, and now he's talking about No Legs Dan. So hopefully I don't affect his opinion of a brand new guy coming in there. You're with Bubba Gump, a great guy. You already know that. And there are great people in the space. But the point is I said, nah, man, I'm not going to that stuff because I don't want to be around that kind of culture, right? I see it. The prototypical image is all the same. I'm not going to even say it out loud, but I see it over and over. I'm like, man, these poor guys are completely lost. I can tell by how they carry themselves. They are lost. They're completely lost. I can't just buddy and connect and be someone I'm not. And so that's a perfect example of negating. And guess what? Same thing with the raids. I go through the raids and that was affecting my positivity because I don't crypto has made me be here some, but going through and seeing all the what crypto is, it's hard for a person like me. I live on the high frequency, right? I want to be around not just, man, the more you buy this, man, I'm so people self-proclaiming being dumb and retarded, right? That's literally what I'm working through, right? Yeah, man, we're so retarded. That's why we're going to win big. I just aped into this, and this. I don't want to live in that frequency. So that stuff wears on me. And so maybe that's why I raid less. I'm just going to become the magnet and I'm going to project and put this out. And there are millions of people in the world who will be in crypto. And I'm going to connect with the people who are exactly what I'm putting out is exactly what they want in their life. And we're giving it out. Mind you, this is the power. See, I shift. You see my energy shift right here? I start to think about it and I shift. Dream can be so dynamic because what we project is gold. It's energetic gold. Imagine being around people who encourage you for your dream instead of cutting you down. Imagine being in a place where you're twofold. You're working on your investments. You're trying to get the alpha. You're trying to make money. And while you're there, you're getting your cup filled up. Maybe you practice a random gratitude exercise because we did it in the chat. Maybe you tuned into a book club thing because you wanted to learn the updates. And instead you learned about the secrets of law of attraction and you applied it and you changed everything. What we're putting out is a great thing. It can be an ecosystem that a lot of people want to be in, but they don't see it yet because chart volume. And I see this stuff and it's like, oh man, someone, another example, Neon, who's an influencer, right? Neon is he does Kick, he does streams. He made a meme coin yesterday. I don't even know if anyone knows this. And he's like, it's going to be the best meme coin ever. I think he's out of touch. It's a $31 million market cap meme coin launched by some ecosystem. It's not really him. It's some vets who know what they're doing. And he had $3,000 in volume on the project. So it was $1,500 in buys, $1,500 in sells. And I read the comments and people were clowning the project. They were saying, yeah, right. $3,000 in volume. Good luck. I just can't. This is just low IQ to me, right? People are attracted to volume. $1,500 in, $1,500 out. That makes you feel better in your head. 20,000 in, 20,000 out. That's 40,000 in volume. 90% of the time that I've seen, that energy is like, there's nothing happening. Nothing's moving. It's in and out. It's just a volume bot. Oh yeah, this is everything. This moves everything. It's like, man, the small-minded thinking that we're in, people looking at that, people in today's thought process, they're not going to ape into dream necessarily. But we're not looking for those people anyway. They'll come later, but they'll serve us in the volume play. They'll get their 1 or 2x. But who we're looking for is the core of what we put out. Dreamers who have a dream. Very simple, very universal, very attractive. Everyone has a dream. Well, how's your dream chase going? Are you doing good? Do you fall off the wagon and disappear for a year or two? At least if you're in the dream community, you'll have a very hard time falling off a cliff in the pursuit of your dream because you're forced to watch the progression of other people who are moving forward. And those people end up leading, and people listen to what they have to say because they say, man, it's hard for me to deny the progress because we both went through the hard things of all of our bags going down, and I was making excuses and they're still showing up anyway. Damn, maybe I got to reevaluate. That's why you want to be around good people. So we are offering a great thing. You got to realize that. When I realized, I said, man, I know the worth. I know the worth. I know the magnitude. I know the power. And I will be continuously telling myself, I posted on, man, K-Rob in the building. What's up, Kev? Man, I'm on Instagram here. I got the full screen set up on X, but you should join us sometime over there. I'm glad you're here right now. My buddy Kev from Charlotte. Good to see him. So we're offering that. We're offering that good positive energy. Rare. Okay, a few more comments. Let's see. No Legs. Dan, is he here? Mr. Scene says, we fall to become better version of ourselves. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's true, right? Fall down, get up, a refinement process. And Tony Robbins talks about that, by the way, in our chat. He says a lot of people think the fall off is the end, but if you reevaluate, like you climb the mountain, and then you get knocked down. And if you reevaluate and you say, oh my gosh, I lost, I failed. But from the bottom, that bottom is still higher than your last bottom, right? So you got to realize, hey, you didn't go all the way to the floor. You got refined. The same thing goes for the dream. The people in and out, a refinement. The vision shift, a refinement. How we move, how we build, a refinement. The website, refinement, the quality of content. It's not a loss. It's not a reset. It's just brick by brick stacking. Yes? This is Bubba Gump. He says, one of the techs I work with is listening. He texted me and said, if you run for president, you have his vote. Oh, awesome. Hey, yeah, shout out to Dan. I followed him because I heard what you said about him in the space, that he was one of your coworkers and you got him in the space and he was going to Miami with you, which once I realized he was listening, I don't want to taint your experience, Dan. Look, everyone who I'm speaking to right now in this space, I met in this degenerate place, right? So like, I mean, I like everyone who's here. I can only talk about who I see, but I've spoken with all these people in length, and they're all here in this degenerate space. So don't let my negative attitude affect and bring you down. But yeah, I think I'm also, when you talk about the presidential thing, it's secret programming, right? Red, white, and blue presidential suit. So it's easier to visualize it, right? Because I'm in the presidential blue. But I appreciate that. I do think the political landscape's in trouble, and who knows, maybe one day. And shout out to Bubba. He put 1 million Dreamcat in the vault. So shout out to him being a Dreamcat millionaire. Okay, now that pretty much is the gist of what I wanted to say today. So I saw Brett W, thanks for hopping in as well. We're doing a Dream Talk episode. This is like combination of crypto and self-help and moving closer to your dreams. We do this every single Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. This is a random in my house side view, but we have a full setup where things come up on the screen and we show different things, which is on X, YouTube, and Facebook. So if you ever want to join us there, take a gander. But before we do anything, we do giveaways. We do have giveaways, 3. And we'll get to those now and wrap up shop on this. Nice short one. So giveaway number 1 is for the people who show up if you show up in the first 20 minutes and you drop a comment, you're entered to win. Okay. So that's going to go to Raylan and Iggy, who I saw. And I can check X here briefly. No, I can't. I'm on the wrong X. Live comments. You guys know the drill. Iggy and Raylan. So we'll flip a coin. Who's going to be what? I said Iggy first. So Iggy's going to be heads. Raylan tails. It is Iggy. Sorry, Raylan. It's heads, if you can see that. Hard to tell, but it's heads. You got to believe in me. Okay, that's Iggy. The second one is MVP, someone who drops comments. Most comments. Mr. Scene stepped up today. I'm going to go Mr. Scene, Bubba, Raylan for the most thoughtful comments. Raylan, Mr. Scene, Bubba. Okay, MVP comments. And that's 1 out of 3. And I didn't pick a secret code word today. So for the code word, there's not going to be one. I'm going to pick a second winner, someone who simply retweeted the stream. So that'll be all. One person who retweeted the stream, I'm going to give 10,000 Dream to. If you're listening on Instagram as well, I guess you don't see the rules. But my biggest encouragement would be, check us out. Join us on the other platforms if one fits in for you, so you can know about the giveaways. I would give them on Instagram, but I'm not sure people knew about them. Okay. So we're going to pick this final giveaway winner, and let's share some little updates along the way. So I'm going to see someone who retweeted. We got the MVPs. So we did a space today. We brought back the cat spaces. We did one. We met Loaf Cat, who we'd never spoken to before. They're building a crypto bank, which is interesting. Had a good conversation with them. I'm forgetting the other gentleman's name, but he's been here since July, and he's building an NFT project. He was really cool as well, connected. So met 2 new people on the space. Shows the power of showing up. We are going to bring back the cat spaces, and now we're bringing back all our spaces as well. This Saturday, it will be free to all who want to listen in, just like you're seeing this stream. We will be here on Saturday at 9 o'clock speaking about The Secret, Chapter 1. Iggy, if he can make it, will be on the inside with me. And if you'd like to be a part of the book club on the inside part, where you can be on this stream right here and discuss the book, all you got to do is flex a wallet with 1 million Dreamcat in it. So that's like the small utility we've added. 1 million Dreamcat actually gets you lifetime access. And if you do that, it's not just the benefit of only coming on the inside too, but if you choose to say, hey, I want in, not only can you do that, but I'll create you a login. So we have a back-end login that I have that is basically like course materials. So you get a login and you can access all 16, this is like 20 hours of content, the personal deep dive. And these are extra, like we shared extra alpha because they were offline about Think and Grow Rich and all the thoughts that we applied to Dreamcat. And if you go through that, I mean, you'd never not believe in Dreamcat. So you can access all of those. I got a $50 belief course that I've done on how I build brainwashing belief. That's in there for free as well. And all of these secret recordings will be there. So if you miss them live, you may miss them. We may delete them over time off X. And but you can show up and get them all for free live. So book club we rolled out. Okay. So we're bringing back the pieces. The downtimes are the downtimes. You bring back the pieces, you change your approach, and bada bing, bada boom. Okay, let's see. Retweet. Magnetism of positivity. Man, no legs, Dan? All right, man. I wasn't following you on Dreamcat. I'm following you now. Thanks for the retweet. We got Dan. We got Bubba Gump. We got Mr. Scene. We got Raylan. And we got Iggy. All right, 2 more giveaways to do. Let's do them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a number generator and, of course, show it to you for transparency so you know I'm not a cheater. All right. All right, here we go. Number generator. First one is 1 through 5 we're looking for. Number is 2. 2 is Bubba Gump. Next giveaway is Raylan, Mr. Scene, and Bubba. We're looking for 1 through 3. Winner is number 3, Bubba Gump. Ho, ho, ho. You better hang out with this guy. You better hang out with this guy, Mr. Dan. This guy's a lucky winner, man. 20,000 dream for Bubba Gump, 10,000 dream for Iggy. Man, if you have the positive attitude and you keep showing up, free dream, stack, stack, stack. What if I'm right? What if dream really does become the one? Man, that'd be something. Just showing up from a space. So thank you guys for being here. Shout out to K-Rob, Brandon, all the people who showed up on Instagram as well. And yeah, we continue to grow. We continue to get better. We appreciate you guys showing up in the good times and the hard times and the down times and being a dreamer. And we continue forward. I'll see you. I'm going to be active on X for another hour all over the place. So if you want to hang out and TG on X, I will be there for the next hour. Thank you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. I am the Genie, a.k.a. Dreamcat, a.k.a. Zach Krupp, and this is Dream Talk. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Good night. That'll do it, guys. I just want to take a moment to send my gratitude. Thank you to all the dreamers who show up here, who support, who dream with us. I want to remind you that the mission here is not just meme coinery and, hey, come show up and waste your time. We're on a mission here. You may not understand it yet. You may not fathom or dream this big yet, but we are here to build the largest community of dreamers in the world. Laugh if you need to. Get it out of your system. All dreamers start somewhere, and it starts with a vision. What I love about the world, what I love about actually meme coins especially, is that belief is the main character. Belief is the main source of everything. It all comes down to belief. And that is what we're building the dream on. Matter of fact, if you know about the book Think and Grow Rich, it's in here. We talk about desire and consistency and compounding and all these things. We're building this mission on laws and principles that have been universal and conclusive for decades. We're building dream in a way that has never been done before. We are a first mover, planting our flag in the space with full respect to the builders and the degens and everyone else who's built out this space. We're coming here as a newbie, as a first mover, and we're doing the opposite of everything you've ever seen. Our market cap may vary. Our holders may vary. Our volume may not be that sexy, but if you're hearing this message, you have a chance. You have a chance to watch the quantum leaps of improvement, step by step, moment by moment. It's revealed to you how the dream can change the world, how we can go from 2 believers to 10 to 1,000 to 2 to, and as it goes on and on, the dream becomes more and more undeniable. You know, there's actually 3 specific things that we're going to do that set us apart. And that's this. Number 1, we're building on unshakable belief. Belief is everything. Some use it. Murad uses a little bit, but we're using it at a level never before seen. We are giving you reasons to believe. We are showing in our consistency, stacking, stacking, stacking. Okay, number 1. Number 2, massive action plans. Some people have done them. Print out flyers, dress up in a chicken suit, go crazy. I've done these before. They make dreams come true. I've done them going 60%, 70% in. What could it look like if we go all in? What could it look like if 1,000 dreamers participate in massive action plans? I see a future that is undeniable, that is unstoppable. Why? Because the ticker is golden. It's dream. It's universal. It beats time. It goes for any sex, any religion. Everyone has a dream. But guess what? 97% of those people aren't going to see it come to pass. They don't have what it takes. They're not willing to go the distance, which is why so many have come to the dream and left. Because for most, seeing is believing. But if you're listening to this message now, there's a very good chance that you happen to be a visionary or luck has found you and you are in the right place at the right time. It would be criminal of me not to encourage you to take a look at dream, use your best judgment, and consider buying a bag. When you paint a vision so vast as building the largest community of the dreamers in the world, doing the opposite, being a first mover, building dream as a mascot. Did you know that that's who Dream is? Dream is a mascot. He doesn't maybe have a meme. He's not one of these OG cat memes that everyone truly loves. He isn't known yet, but he's becoming known here, the most successful cat in the world. This is a community where dreams become reality. This is a community, when it's all said and done, where you can come chase this dream together with us while simultaneously chasing your own. And to be very blunt and clear, that is exactly what I am doing in real time. And I believe that if I'm able to make my dream come true within the Dreamcat community, well, Dream is a part of that dream. And so it's like a vision on top of a vision on top of a vision. But with success, which of course I believe in myself, I do, Dream will become maybe even more than what we envisioned it to be. It's simple concepts, brick by brick, compounding consistency, 1 to 2 to 8 to 16, 32. I skipped a bunch of numbers, 120 something, stack, stack, stack. We appreciate you being here. We simply want to remind you of our intentions. We simply want to remind you to tap into your dream. We want to remind you to wake up, stop chasing. Perhaps the time of chasing runners is over. Perhaps a season of builders is coming. And when it comes, I don't want you to be late to the party. No one is building like Dream. Dream does not have a ceiling. If you want to investigate this yourself, I encourage you to go over to the website, dreamcat.xyz, and take a look with your own eyes. Most will not. When they hear about the dream, they look at the volume, they look at the chart, they dismiss it, and they keep going. 1,000 believers, it's just math. In this 54-page PDF, we tell you reason after reason, specifically why Dream can change the game, why it's a mascot of tomorrow. We explain why I'm in Orlando, right? Why I'm here. It's for the dream. Check it out. Take a look. Do your own research. Buy, don't buy. We're indifferent. It's good either way. What we really want is for you to chase your dream and make it come true. And if you can do that and you don't buy a single token, we will win. Thank you guys for hanging with us. We hope to see you next week, every single Thursday, 7 p.m. EST. Next week, invite in a friend. Retweet it out. Share it. Are you really a dreamer? Why is your PFP a dog when it could be Dreamcat? Shout out to the dog. Shout out to my friends. Fine. Thank you guys. Take care. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.